It's March 30th. It's in the evening. I'm preparing the videos. As I mentioned, I'd only had done a few, so I'm trying to catch up. And I'm preparing chapter 41, episode 9, Clarifying My Affair, where I talk about the Kundalini awakening. And I realized I never paid attention to the video, so I'm listening to the videos right now. And then I had bought this book to because Mr. Bumble had recommended it to me, and it was recommended to him by a Reiki teacher, healer. So I wanted to get it, and there's a section that talks about the Kundalini, because I'm talking about it because it triggers, I guess I must have triggered that memory. I don't know why. Oh, because I was remembering the beginning chapters. So I'm listening to Christina Lopes' videos, and yeah, it totally makes sense what I was experiencing. The involuntary, she talks about it, involuntary like spasms. And then she talks about like how time was moving slowly. I do remember, like I remember a lot of that time period was just in slow motion. Even with this person, I remember even with this person from my past, like some like some of the stories that I shared, I didn't react like the Yubi that I know would react to something funny. Like in that moment, I remember everything was just in slow motion, and I would just watch him when we would interact. Even when we went to, like, I mean, anytime we hung out, it just felt slow motion. Like that whole chapter was slow motion. And then she talks about colors. I remember my meditative experience was brighter. Like the blues were brighter, and I remember seeing pink. One of the times that I went to John, and I don't remember if it was that time where I started freaking out, he was putting pressure on the bottom part of my spine, or my neck, because that's where I usually carry like stress here. But I remember he did this great massage. Oh, it was so good. But I remember in one occasion, and I don't remember if it was that same one, every time he would put pressure, the colors, there was like these bright colors, and my eyes were always closed when he would massage me. But specifically back here, he would put pressure, and the colors would just, like, I mean, I've never done like drugs. Like, I've never done drugs. I think I mentioned that I've only smoked pot, and it was twice. And it was with this person from my past. And so, oh no, wait, once I did try, I think they were mushrooms. I think once I did try once, but I didn't feel anything. Like, I felt nothing. It did nothing for me. Yeah. But this was like, I mean, the colors were just so beautiful, and every time you put pressure, it would just move. And I remember just loving it, and I'm like, whoa, why can't it be like this all the time? But I'm hearing her talk, and that's what stands out. So I'm reading the section on the Kundalini in the book. The only thing that makes sense for me, aside from the only thing that makes sense is that it says, when dormant, meaning when it's not awakened, it can be stimulating to the reproductive organs and sexual impulses. Many young souls dissipate this energy by overindulging in sexual activity. I definitely did that. I definitely did that. So that's the only part that really makes sense. All the other stuff is like, it talks about like practicing tantric sexuality, which I remember Christina Lopes came out with a video on that one. But everything else doesn't. Even the in this book, there are several indications that the Kundalini is beginning to awaken. None of this makes sense. No. No. So already this book, at least that part, has a chapter on dreams. It's just that particular part. I haven't read the whole thing, but I thought that was interesting. And Christina Lopes' interpretation of her experience makes a lot more sense for me because of what I was experiencing. Like, it literally felt like there were muscle spasms that I couldn't control. And I do remember this inner knowing that I needed to allow it to happen, but I was freaking out. Like, I just remember freaking out about it. Even though there was this inner knowing, like, you just let it do its thing, let it do its thing. But I was scared because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was happening to me. So anyways, I just wanted to follow up on that because I don't remember if I did later on. And or maybe I did because I haven't looked at the next batch. This is episode 9. I haven't even I have a lot of work to do. I haven't even figured out the next groups of videos. And I'm gonna stay up tonight again to do that. And I'm only staying up because it's spring break. So I can try to get as much done. Because I know things are gonna pick up. So I wanted just to speak on that. And then I've been thinking about that last part of the dream. The murder in my dream. The murderers, because it was more than one. It was 2 murders. I tried looking it up. I googled like school murders, school staff, because they were staff. It was people who worked at the school. Murders. And the only thing that came up close to it was that 2 teachers were killed in Sweden, but it was by a student. And in my dream it wasn't. It was like the custodian or the janitor that killed a woman, and I think he was a coach, but it was his friend. The impression that I got was that it was his friend. And it was like Southern, they had Southern accents, like white Southern, like US Southern accents, I think. Or somewhere in the middle. I'm totally generalizing, but yeah. So then, not that I'm laughing at this murder, but then I started thinking, like, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be funny if, I mean, not funny, but I was thinking of that movie, Minority Report, you know, when like they have the what do they call it, the precogs, pre something, and the whole like police force at that time period is focused on potential energy, right? potential murders, and catching it before it unfolds. I was thinking, like, oh my gosh, imagine if that's what's happening. Because I can't think of like where I would have gotten that type of storyline. These dreams lately are just, I don't know. I mean, even the ones where I'm preparing them, I mean, clearly a lot haven't come true. So in terms of a timeline, I think that's what I was waiting on for this batch to these last few batches, because that's when I started having more dreams, was this element of like, is there truth in any of these dreams? Is it unfolding? Aside from those specific ones, and nothing yet. So either I'm way off on timelines, it has nothing to do with my posting of the videos, or they're just random dreams. I don't know. time will tell. But I'm still trying to figure that out, I guess. So yeah, just wanted to track that, or document that, the Kundalini awakening, just to confirm, yes, it was what I had so far, and does not match what it says in that book, Soul Psychology. So I can't really, I don't know about the other stuff. This has been helpful. It has like aura, talks about the chakras, but I haven't really like dove in at all. Not really. 94. Outdated, maybe. We'll see. But those were the only things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, that's all. Okay. Bye. Hi. My name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learn to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us, in whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth. This just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience, and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you, and I wish you all the best, and we'll see what else comes next for me.